Hello students, welcome to this session. I've just solved this NEET test 106 and here I am with the analysis of the physics part. I've regarded 25 as easy, 17 as medium and 3 questions are tough. So all in all, it's a nice paper to practice. It should be a scoring one, not that tough. And it's very quiz. Most of the questions are direct. If you remember the most of the results, you can save time in this paper. So going by my idea, 25 and 8, let's say 33, that means 130 should be easily scoreable, and for those who are very good should get at least 160 in this particular paper. So let's begin. In the hydrogen atom, electron is going around the nucleus with this velocity. With an orbit of this, we can make it out this is n equal to 1. The acceleration, because it is in circular motion, you can directly say centripetal 1 v square by r. So what we have, 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 whole square upon 0.528 into 10 to the power minus 10. So if I do this, I have to just check the order only because the options are far away. So it is 2.18 into 2.18 upon 0.528, and this order is 10 to the power 22, and it would be 9 approximately. So it would be 9 into 10 to the power 22. I can only go by the order, so is option B that I can go for. Next one, an alpha particle and a deuteron are moving with velocities v and 2v respectively. What will be the ratio of their de Broglie wavelength? So de Broglie wavelength, you know, lambda is h upon mv. So what we have, lambda of alpha to lambda of deuteron, if I do, that is mass of deuteron is 2 times protonic mass, velocity is 2v, and alpha is 4 times protonic mass into v, so that ratio is 1:1. Go for option C here. That's another easy one for you. Next one, a proton of mass m collides elastically with a particle of unknown mass at rest. After the collision, both are seen moving at 90 degrees with respect to each other. The mass of unknown particle is. So we know in an oblique collision with one particle at rest, other moving, and both goes at 90 degrees to each other after the collision, it means their mass must be same. You have done this. This is an important concept, so we can directly go for M. This is given in your NCERT books. Body of mass m1 moving at a constant speed undergoes an elastic head-on collision with m2 initially at rest. Ratio of kinetic energy of m1 after the collision to that before the collision, you can directly remember that, otherwise we can solve it. We can directly say we will have v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1, which is u, and 2m2 u2 is 0. So this is v1. So kinetic energy initially was half m1 u square, finally it is half m1 v1 square. So if we take the ratio would be v1 square by u square. So required ratio is v1 square by u square. That will be easily m1 minus m2 over m1 plus m2 whole square. So directly you can go for this. You generally remember this v1 v2 expression, otherwise you can derive also. Next one, disk is rotating about an axis of symmetry in a horizontal plane at a steady state of 3.5 revolutions per second. Coin is at a distance of 1.25 centimeter from the axis, remains at rest. The coefficient of friction is, that means omega square r is sufficiently provided by mu sg, or you can say mu sg is greater, so limiting case mu s would be omega square 3.5 into, you can write it as 2 pi radian per second whole square into 1.25 centimeters into 10 to the power minus 2 upon g, that is 10. So 3.5 into 2 pi, that is 7 pi, that is 22 into 22 whole square into 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 3. You can do this. So 22, if I do 22 into 22, better is 22 into 22, and 1.25 can be written as 5 by 4. So this is 11, 121 into 5. So 121 into 5, or I can write it as a 0.121 into 5. So it comes out as 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are what we have 10, and this is 6. So it is 0.605. So go for option D in this case. This is going to be your answer. Next one, which of the following statement related to the hysteresis loop is incorrect? Curve of B against H for a ferromagnetic material is called hysteresis loop. That is correct. Area of BH curve is a measure of power dissipated per cycle per unit area of the specimen. So that is area of the BH curve is a measure of power dissipated per cycle, energy dissipated per unit area per unit cycle we have. So it is energy, not power. It is energy dissipated per cycle per unit area, not the power. So this is an incorrect one. Coercivity is a measure of the magnetic field required to destroy. Yes, retentivity is remaining in the specimen, so it is B. B looks like correct, but it is not correct. It is because it is the energy dissipated per cycle per unit area. Next one. To verify Ohm's law, a student is provided with a test resistor RT, a high resistance R1, a small resistance R2, two identical galvanometers, and a variable voltage V. Circuit is, so you are given a small resistance that would be used as a shunt with some galvanometer as an ammeter, and R1 is used as a in series as a, you can say, voltmeter. So R1 will be in series, R2 will be in parallel. So what we can do out of the given options, first of all we can make it out. First, if you see, voltmeter is connected in parallel and that would be having something in series, so this is not the right one. This would be parallel because ammeter is not like this. So G2, G1, yes, this one is G1 must be written, or G2, both are G2. Okay, one must be G1. There is a printing error, let me check. So again there is the issue, and again what the issue here, smaller one is R1 or R2, R2. So there is greater one won't be in parallel, so only B option is remaining. So another easy one, just observe it carefully. In the circuit is shown the voltmeter is reading 30 volts. The resistance of the voltmeter is, so if it is reading 30 volts, that means this drop is 30, so this is also 30. It means this resistance is equal to this, or 300 is equal to 400 RV upon 400 plus RV. So you can do 0 0 0 0, so it is 1200 plus 3 RV is equal to 4 RV, so RV is equals to 1200 ohms. Now the next one. An EMF of 15 volt is applied in a circuit containing 5 Henry inductance, 10 ohm resistance. Okay, the ratio of the current at infinity and 1 second. So at infinity, you know, I get infinity is simply I by R. I by R means 15 by 10, that is 1.5 volt for sure. Now the ratio of the current at t equal to 1 second. So at any time we can directly make it out. The current, you know, is I naught, which is 1.5. 1 minus e to the power minus we had TR by L. T is 1, R is what you have 10, and L is 5. So it is 1.5, 1 minus e to the power minus 2. So if I take this ratio I infinity to I at t equal to 1 second, this is 1.5, 1.5 goes 1 minus 1 by e square. So it is e square upon e square minus 1, not a tough one. Go for option B if you remember this LR circuit. Next one. Straight wire 200 gram, length 1.5 meter, carries a current of 2 ampere. It is suspended in mid-air by a uniform field B. So it is suspended, that means BIL force is equal to mg. So the value of the B is mg over IL. In such question you do in NCERT even also. 0.2 into 10, I is 2, this is 1.5. So it is 2 by 3, 2 by 3 means 0.65, 0.67. That would be, go for option B now. That is the only thing we can do. Next one. A mass of 1 kg carrying a charge of 2 coulomb is accelerated through a potential of 1 volt. The velocity acquired by it is, okay. So velocity we can say 2 coulomb is accelerated by 1. So energy gain would be 2 joules, and that is half mv square, that is half 1 into v square is 2. So v square is 4. So v is equal to 2 meter per second. Again q delta v energy change that you can do here. Next one. The magnetic field of a traveling EM wave has a peak value of 20 nanotesla. The peak value of electric field strength, you know, E naught by B naught is equal to C. So E naught would be equal to B naught into C. 20 into 10 to the power minus 9 into 3 into 10 to the power 8. 8 and 1 9, that is 6 volt per meter. You can go for option B. Again a very easy question for you, just basics. Next. Man is weighing 90 on the surface of the height above the surface of the earth, where the weight will be 30. That means you should become 1 by 3. So gm upon r plus h whole square should be equal to gm by r squares 1 by 3 value. We can say r square, sorry. So g, not m square, m, yeah. So this gm goes, no need to do this square. What I am doing, this is not right. This is gm r plus h whole square, sorry. So 3r square is r plus h whole square. So r plus h is root 3r. So the height required is root 3 minus 1r, which you can say is 0.732r. Go for option A in this case. two satellites go around a planet P in circular orbits of these two radii. The speed of the satellite A is v, the speed of B is, we know v is proportional to 1 by root of r, so VA upon VB would be equal to root of RB upon RA, which is r by 4r. So what V is, the VB would be root 4 times the VA, that is 4 root 3 V, or you can say that is 6V. You can directly go for option B in this case. Next one. The amount of heat radiated by a metal at temperature T is E. When the temperature is 3T, we know this E is proportional to T to the power 4. So if it is thrice time, it will become 81 times. Again, an easy one for you. Next one. Thermally insulated container divided into two parts by a screen. One part pressure temperature PT for an ideal gas filled. In the second part, its vacuum. It is now a small hole is created. Then the temperature of the gas, as you know, this is free expansion. So in free expansion, the temperature will remain the same. A Carnot engine having an efficiency of 1 by 10 is being used as a refrigerator. The work done on the refrigerator is 10 joule. The amount of heat absorbed from the reservoir at a cool temperature will be. So efficiency is 1 by 10 of Carnot. That means TC by TH would be 9 by 10. Now, what we need we know QC by W can be written as QC upon QH minus QC. This is what we can do. So this ratio we can do as TS upon TH minus TC. So this QC we need to require W is 10. So we can do this as 1 upon TH by TC minus 1. So if I do this, TH by TC is 10 by 9 minus 1. So if I do this, this is 9 by 1. So QC by 10. So QC comes out as 90 joules. Go for option D in this case. This is going to be the answer, 90 joules. Next one. Current carrying square loop is placed near an infinitely long current carrying wire. The torque acting on the loop is. Now what would be the torque acting on the loop? What we can say, the forces on these two are equal and opposite. Their line of action will be at this line, so it will be 0. Its line of action will be here. This would be an attractive force, this would be an repulsive force. So all four line of action passes through CM. So then no torque will act about the loop, only net force will act towards the wire. So this is 0. You can directly go for. The magnetic dipole moment of a current loop is independent of magnetic field in which it is lying. Yes, magnetic dipole moment does not depend on magnetic loop, it is NIA. So NA and current, all three depends. Next one. Parachutist after bailing out falls 50 meter without friction. So this is in free fall. When it open, it retards at 2 meter per second square. It reaches the ground with a speed of 3. At what height did it bail out? So let's say it bailed out at height h. So for first 50 meters it was in free fall. So I can directly say, because of this 50 meter, the speed V0 here would be equal to root 2 GH, which is 2 into 10 into 50, which comes out as 100 by 10. Okay, so root of 1000 or 9.8 I have to take. So it is 980, root of 980. Now it retards at 2 meter per second square and finally lands up at 3 meter per second. So let it be, the height be h. So this would be h minus 50. So applying this equation here, so what we can see that the third equation, 3 square would be equal to V0 square, that is 980 minus, because it is now retarding, 2 into 2 into h minus 50. So what you have now, 9 is equal to 980 minus 4 times h minus 50. So 4 times h minus 50 is 980 minus 9, which is 971. So h minus 50 is 971 by 4. So h is equal to 50 plus 971 by 4, which is 4. So it would be 2, 4, and what we have, this is 17, 4, this is 11, 11 is 2, and 0.75. So it is 243 plus 50, that is 293. That is going to be the option. So option A is what we are coming as closest. Next. A man throws a packet from a certain tower directly aiming at a friend who is standing at a certain distance from the base, which is at the same height of the tower, which is the same as the height of the tower. Okay, if the packet is thrown with a speed of 4 and it hits the ground midway between the tower base and his friend, then the height of the tower is. So what we have, this is the tower, this is the person. So this is h, this is h. He intended to throw it like this, but because of gravity it went like this, and this distance is h by 2. So first of all we can directly say, if we directly aims. If the packet is thrown with a speed of 4, aiming here like this. So first of all we can do is this h and h, this angle is 45 degree first of all. So this would be v by root 2, this would be also be v by root 2. So first of all what we can do, the time of flight we can write as v by root 2 into t plus half g t square is equal to h. This is the first thing we will do. And what we also have, v root 2 into t, that is equal to h by 2. So going by this, what we can do, we need to get the value of h. So if we need the value of the h, we can write t here as or what we have, v root 2t is equal to h by 2 we are getting. So we said okay, directly we have got it. This is h by 2. Okay, so put it above, h by 2 plus half gt square is equal to h. So what we will get, h is you need to find out. So this is h by 2 is half gt square. So this half and half goes. So t comes out as root h by g. Okay, so t comes out as root h by g, and from here also we could have done something. What we can have done something, 2 root 2 t is equal to h by 2. So I can say h is equal to 4 root 2 t. So h is equal to 4 root 2 t. So from here t can be written as h upon 4 root 2. So h upon 4 root 2 is equal to h by g root. So if I square it, h square upon 32 is equal to h by g. So h is directly coming out as 3.2 meters. Directly you can go for option C. Just to do it more smartly, I think you could do better than me. And this is 3.2. Two masses are connected by a massless, flexible, inextensible string passed over a massless, frictionless pulley. The acceleration of the CM is, first of all, what would be the acceleration of the both? Acceleration of the both magnitude will be same. That would be m1 minus m2 over m1 plus m2g. Now m1 would be going down and m2 would be going up. So acceleration of CM downwards, if I take, would be m1a minus m2a upon m1 plus m2. So it would be m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 times a, which is m1 minus m2 over m1 plus m2 into g. So going by this option A is the most appropriate. You will get here. Bomb of 30 kg at rest explodes into two pieces of 18 and 12. Velocity of 18 is 6. The kinetic energy of the other, as we know, the momentum of both will be same. So 18 into 6, because total should be 0, so 12 into v. So v comes out as 18 into 6 by 12. And this 2 is 9. So therefore Q2 is half into 12 into 9 square, which is 81. So 81 into 6, 6 ones are 6, 6 8s are 4, it is 6. You will go for option B. Next one. The energy released by the fission of one uranium atom is this. Calculate the energy released in kilowatt hour when 1 gram this undergoes fission. Okay, so when 1 gram undergoes fission, the number of atoms that we will have is 1 upon 235 into Na. Na is 6 into 10 to the power 23, and each releases 200 MeV. MeV means 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 13. This is in joule, and you know 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 into 10 to the power 6. So now you have to do this power thing. I think will be helpful. This is 23, 25 and 19. 25 and 19, that is 10 to the power 6 into 6 into 212 into 1.6 upon 235 into 3.6. So this is 0.3, this is 1. So this is what we get, 235 into 0.3, that would be approximately 80. So 1.6 upon 80, 1.6 upon 80 will be 50. So it would be 50, so it would be 2 point something into 10 to the power 4. That would be the only answer I couldn't go for. This is 10 to the power 4 will come. 2.278 or 2.270. Okay, it's tough to make it out. Okay, the third one is also like this. It's not easy to tick this. I got it naturally, but let me do it carefully. It would be 16 upon 3 into 235. Let's say 100 into 10 to the power 4. So let me try it. This is 4, this is 7, this is 320. So 320 upon 47 into 3, 3 7s are 1, 3 4s are 12, 141 into 10 to the power 4. So do this. This is 2, this is 282. 282, now you are left with 380. 380 will give you 380 again will give you 2 only. This is 282, this is 98, 980, 980, 980 will give you 7. So now you can do this is, and it will still be 14840, which will still be remaining something, so it would be 2.278 into 10 to the power 4. I can go for B only, so it's a calculative one. Next, in a nuclear reactor, the fuel is consumed at a rate of 1 milligram per second. The power generated is, just go by in kilowatt hour in kilowatts, so power per unit time would be 1 milligram, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 kg into 9 into 10 to the power 16, that is the energy released, mc square in kilowatt, so divided by 10 to the power 3, that is joule per second, or you can say kilojoule per second or kilowatt you will get. So this is 9 into 10 to the power 16 and 9, that is 7. So 9 into 10 to the power 7, not a tough one, this you can do better than the above one. Next one, potential energy of SHM oscillator of mass 2 kg in mean is 5, if the total is 9, amplitude is 0.01, its time period would be. So what we have, that means the kinetic energy at the mean position is 4 joule, that is equal to half m omega square a square, that is equal to 4. So the value of omega square is 4 into 28 upon m is 2 into, this is 10 to the power minus 4, that is 4 into 10 to the power 4, so omega comes out as 200. So time period is 2 pi by omega, that is pi by 100 seconds. Go for option D here. Next one, a 2 kg mass is put on a flat pan attached to a vertical spring fixed on the ground as shown in the figure. The mass of the spring and the pan is negligible. When pressed slightly and released, the mass executes SHM. Spring constant is what should be the minimum amplitude so that the mass get detached from the pen. So the mass to get detached from the pen, so simply that you need to require is omega square a in limiting case becomes G. That is what the logic you always apply. So that amplitude would be G by omega square, and omega square is K by M, so the K into M. So 10 into 2 upon 200, that is 1 by 10. So 1 by 10 means 10 centimeters. That is what you can go for. So again a standard one for you. Don't get confused by the figure. Electric field of certain radiation is given by this equation. It is falling on a metal surface of work function. The maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectron is. Now look at this. This is basically what you can say. This is two frequencies are there, 1 and 2. So K max would be corresponding to the bigger one. So the F max that you will having is, this is omega, so divided by 2 pi, so it is 2 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. So this is the frequency. So what we have, so K max I can directly go for h nu I can write as 4.14 into, you need an EV, so 4.14 into 10 to the power minus 15 I am using, into 2 into 10 to the power 15 minus this 2. So this is 4.14 into 2, 8, 2, 8 minus 2. So this is coming out as 6.28 or 6.3. You can go for, this is the answer. I'll put it here. Next one. Proton alpha are accelerated through the same potential V. The ratio of the de Broglie wavelength is, again de Broglie they have given. Lambda is h by root 2 m E, E is q into V. So V is same, h is same, so lambda is inverse to root of mq. So again lambda proton to lambda alpha, that would be inverse. So mass of alpha is 4 times protonic mass, q is 2e. Here it is mp and it is e, so it is root 8, so 2 root 2 is to 1. Go for option B here, 2 root 2 will be the answer here. Next one. Object 26 kg floats in the air and it is in the equilibrium state. Air density is this, the volume of the object is going to be definitely what you can say, the buoyant force 1.3 into volume is equal to this 26, you can say. I have not taken G, so V would be 26 upon 1.3, that is 20 meter cube should be the volume of the object. Next one. Airtight cage with a parrot sitting in it suspended from the spring balance. Parrot starts flying, the reading of the spring balance will not change because to start flying it will flap the wings, so the upward force acting on it would be equal to the downward force acting on the cage. The total balance will remain the same. You can say there is no external force, what is happening inside, so this system is closed, nothing will change here. So it's a very standard question, you must have seen it before. An object is placed at a distance 20 from the pole of the convex mirror of focal length 20 centimeter. The images, you know, it would be format f by 2, that is 10 centimeter. How you do this? the formula of the mirror is 1 by v plus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. So here u is minus 20 but focal length is plus 20, so 1 by v would be 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20, that comes out as 1 by 10, so v is 10 centimeters. This is option D. Next one, a transparent plastic bag filled with air forms a concave lens. Plastic bag filled with air forms a concave lens. Now the bag is completely immersed in water, then it behaves as. So because it is forming a concave lens, and now in water where the medium has a refractive index greater than that of lens, so what we have, its nature will be reversed, so it will behave as a convergent lens. You can directly go for this. That logic you can use. Uniform rod mass m length L is rest on a smooth horizontal surface. Ball of mass m moving with velocity v naught hits the rod perpendicularly at one end and sticks to it. The angular velocity of the rod after collision, because it sticks to it, so now both will move about their common cm. About their common cm, that would be at this distance. This distance is L by 4. So what we can do, angular momentum just before and after collision equating. So mv naught into L by 4 would be equal to I of system. I of system, first one will have ml square by 16, the other one will have ml square by 12 plus ml square by 16 parallel access theorem into omega. So omega would be mv naught L by 4, this will be ml square by 16, ml square by 16, ml square by 8 plus ml square by 12. So ml square 1 by 8 plus 1 by 12 you can do. So m goes, L goes, L goes. So it is a v naught upon 4L, and it would be 12 and 8 I can do 24, 2 and 3, that is 5. So it is 6 v naught by 5L. If I am right, it should be option A. Yes, it is given A. Next one. So just remember this particular case here, the both will combine, will rotate about their common cm. Disk is performing pure rolling on a smooth stationary surface with constant angular velocity as shown, for at any instant for the lowermost point of the disk velocity is, because omega is constant, v is constant, velocity is 0, acceleration will be non-zero, because acceleration is an important thing. Velocity is 0, acceleration of p, we can do acceleration of p is acceleration of p with respect to cm plus acceleration of cm. Cm acceleration is 0, but with respect to cm it will be having acceleration omega square r upwards. So the velocity is 0 but the acceleration is non-zero here, just remember this thing. Next, for an unbiased p-n junction, electrons diffuse from n region to p region because of the concentration difference. So concentration difference is option C. Select the correct output y. So what you have, I have shown you this figure I think yesterday, but let me do it again. How to do this? So let us start with our truth table thing. So this is let's say 0 0. So 0 0, it is what gate it is? It is looking like a NAND gate. So it would be 1 0 and 1 1 1 and 0 1. So finally will be 0. So 0 0 will give us 0. So 0 0 will give us 0. So this option is definitely rejected. Next one, 0 and 1. If I do 0 and 1, if I do, this will become 1. So this becomes 1, so it will still remain 1, and it will be here, it is 1. So here it is 1, so 1 1 will give us 0, so 1 and 0, here now we will get 1. So here we will have 1, so if 0 1 we are getting 1, so 1 0 will also getting 1, 0 0 we are getting as 0. So what we are getting here, so the option is 0 1 is giving us 1 and 1 0 is also giving us 1, so this is rejected. These two are left now. Now we have to check for 1 1, because if 1 1 is 1 it would be OR, otherwise it will be C. So for 1 1 if we do, this will be, so 1 and 1 it would be 0, 1 and 0 it would be 1, 1 and 0 it would be 1, 1 and 1 it will be 0. So for 1 1 it is 0, so it cannot be OR gate, so it is option C, that is the only one you can go for. Next one. The temperature should the hydrogen at 327 be cooled at constant pressure so that the RMS becomes half of its previous value. It becomes half of its previous value, that means T should become 1/4. 327 means 600, so it should be 150. 150 Kelvin means minus 123 degrees Celsius. Go for option A. You simply remember RMS depends only on the root of T. Next one. physical quantity is calculated from this relation. The percentage error, that is an easy one. Delta x by x, you know, twice of error in A, which is 2%, thrice the error in B, which is 1%, 1 times the error in C, which is 3%, and half times the error in D, which is 4%. So 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, so 4, 7, 10, 12%, go for 12%. This is going to be the answer, option C. Next one. Double slit experiment is immersed in liquid of refractive index 1.33. Separation is 1 mm, distance between the slit and the screen is 1.33. The slits are illuminated by a parallel beam whose wavelength is this, then the fringe width would be, so fringe width would be lambda, lambda here would be lambda by n, d by d. So what we have, 6300 into 10 to the power minus 10, n is 1.33, d is 1.33, this is 10 to the power minus 3, so it comes out as 63 into 10 to the power minus 5 meters, or you can go for 0.63 millimeters. This is the answer I'll be getting for option C. Next one. What is the width of the single slit if the first minimum is observed at 2 degree with respect to length? So first minimum you get at sine theta or theta equals to lambda by a. So theta is 2, that is 2 into pi by 180 small angle, 6980 angstrom upon a. So a comes out as 6980 into 180 upon 2 pi. This is an angstrom, that is 10 to the power minus 10. So what we are left with, this is in 90. So 6980, if I can do, let's say what it will be, 6980. So 00, this is 20, 9 8 72, 9 9 81 and 7 88, 9 6 54 and 88, 6282. 62820, so 6.282 I can go for, 6.28200 into 10 to the power 1 2 3 4 5 10 to the power minus 5 by pi, so it would be 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 meters. So you can go for, and this would be 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter, that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 millimeter. You can directly go for this. Next one. Uniform rope having mass m hangs vertically from a rigid support. A transverse wave pulse is produced at the lower end, the speed of the wave pulse with height h. So what happens here, you just see, at any distance x from above, the tension first of all I'll calculate would be equal to m x by L into g. That would be the tension, because that is the mass it has to support. So this is tension, so velocity is proportional to root t, so velocity is proportional to root x. So velocity is proportional to root x, so as the height increases the velocity will increase, and root x, that for option A will be the only curve out of the given options. Next one. On producing the waves of frequency 1000 Hz in a Kunst tube, the total distance between 6 successive nodes is 85. That means between 2 successive nodes is 85. Here, total distance is given between 6 successive nodes, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this distance, if you calculate, would be 5 lambda by 2, because 1, 2, the gaps are 5. Total is 6, but the gap is 5. So 5 lambda by 2 is equal to 85 centimeters. So lambda comes out as, you can say in meters, I can do 0.85 into 2 by 5, that is what we can do. This is 0.17 into 2.34 meters. Now V is equals to F lambda, you know, that is 1000 into 0.34, so it is 340 meter per second. So directly you can go for option C in this particular case. So the answer here is 340 meter per second. Go ahead. An inclined track ends in a circular loop of the radius r. From what height should a particle be released so that it completes the loop, assuming there is no friction? So we know at this lowest point, to complete this looping, this speed should be at least root 5 gr. So this root 5 gr should be equal to root 2 gh from energy conservation. So this h comes out directly as 5 r by 2. So directly you can do 5 r by 2. You might be remembering this. This is a very famous relation and question. Last one. Your block of 2 kg leaving origin at is at origin at t equal to 0 has a velocity this 4 root 5 in positive x. Only force is this conservative and potential energy is its velocity when its acceleration is a minimum after t equal to 0 is. So first of all, let me check the force. Force is minus du by dx, you write. That is 6x square minus 12x you have. So we can say the force is the acceleration is minimum, that is force will be 0. So when would the force would be 0? So force would be 0, you can do that at x equal to 2. You can directly say at x equal to 2 meters. So at x equal to 2 meter, the force is going to be 0. So the force is going to be 0. So at x equal to 2, you need to find the velocity. Now how you can find the velocity at x equal to 2? You can directly check what is the u at x equal to 0. The u at x equal to 0 was 15. U at x equal to 2 meters is minus 8 plus 24 plus 15. So what you have got? 24 and 16 plus 15, that is 31 joules. So delta U gain, the kinetic potential energy gain is 16 joule, that should be equal to delta K loss. So delta K loss would be half mu square minus v square, typically you write. So 16 is half into 2, initial speed 4 root 5 whole square, that is 80 minus v square, this goes, so v square is 64, so v comes out as 8 meter per second. You can go for option A, another nice question to end the paper. Thanks for watching.